All praises to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai Ba'ashem Chakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. Shalom, salutations to the hopeful elect that's fighting a good fight of faith and truth, in sincerity and wholeheartedly. Shalom to the Akwath, which is the women believer. Shalom to you. All praises, honor, and glory to Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai. And everything that this colonel is saying is prophecy, because there is no peace unto the wicked. So as long as the wicked is ruling, there's never going to be peace. Now, back in 2021, we all know that United States of America was set up in 1776. So it said out of 245 years, that was back in 2021, 228 of the 245 years of America's existence, they've been at war. They've been in some type of conflict. That was 92%. It's 93% now. Now it's 231, going on 232 out of 249 years that this place have been a thing in the world, because of course America was here, but it wasn't called America. All right. So they so-called got their independence in 1776, which is nothing but a lie. This is still a British colony. The British still call the shots, but they use America, as the economic and military face. OK, so listen up.
And the Houthis are not going anywhere, and you can bomb them until the cows come home.
Now, you know that so-called text got out of a war crime against the Houthis, so basically this man is talking about, listen, you can do whatever you want to the Houthis, they ain't going nowhere. And that is true. They ain't going nowhere, because prophecy foretold that you will lose. Number one, the Houthis, they got Iran on their side. And guess who Iran got on their side? Russia. So all of this is leading, to World War III, which means that we are so close, because in the scriptures, World War III is the war that ends all wars. OK, so, but let me get this, because I already quoted it, but I want to get this, because this is what people need to understand. The scripture said that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. Ooh, what's wrong with that? I swear 57 and 22 is a scripture. Maybe it's not. All right. But I know it's another one that said there is no peace saved unto the wicked. I think it's 48 and 22. Yep, there we go. Maybe it's 57 and 21. I think that's what it is. So it said, there is no peace, save Yahweh, unto the wicked. So the scripture said that the earth is given into the hands of the wicked. So it's never going to be peace. It's always going to be war. This devil was foretold to take peace from the earth. All right. In fact, let's get that now. It said, and there went out another horse that was red, and power was given. See, power was given to him. Who gave it to him? Yahweh Ba'ashem Yahweh Shai, to fulfill prophecy. All right. And then you see, it gave you a little context clue of who it is, because it said red. Last time I checked, when you go to Genesis 25, it said Esau came out red. All right. So there go a context clue for you. So it says, and another horse was red, and it was power given to him that sat thereon to take peace from the earth. There is no peace unto the wicked, saith the Lord. And that they should kill one another, and there was given unto him a great sword. Ever since this devil came out of the Caucasus Mountains, but ever since this devil came out of the caves, has been nothing but, as all the way back in the time of the Greeks, evils multiplied upon the earth. And within those evils, a lot of war, a lot of bloodshed, all right, happened when Esau Edom is in power. But let's continue.
And the Houthis are not going anywhere. And you can bomb them until the cows come home, and they're not going anywhere. You're going to have them on your back from now until the time, as they have said very explicitly, and as they recently demonstrated. So why are we starting to kill them again? Is it all about Iran? No, it's because the military-industrial complex in America, and think about Israel and their resumption and Trump's approval of that resumption of the killing in Gaza, because they go together. The military-industrial complex needs $50 billion a year to feed its maw. It needs that money to keep its shareholders happy and to keep things running like smooth.
And that's the biggest part of their wine. This funny money, the money that's backed by nothing, the money that they just print out of thin air and call it a currency. So this whole world is ran on money. That's the majority of his wine. Then you also got the democracy and you got the Americanization, the ways of Babylon the Great. That's all the wine. But it's all about money. And then when it comes to bombing the Palestinians, it's all about the Greater Israel Project. Whoever watched this video, go look that up. All right. Can't talk about these type of things on. So, but yeah, so they just trying to expand their foothold in our land. That's all. They want it all. Like the same thing that the Lord promised us. That's what they want. That's what it really comes down to. All right. But that's why I want to title this video, Listen, E, you're just sealing your fate. All of this, starting war, because you thinking by war, you're going to bring peace. But the scripture says that long as you in power, there will never be peace. So it's always going to be skirmishes, always going to be wars, as long as you is ruling. The scripture said when a righteous are in authority, people rejoice. You're not righteous. All right. But when the wicked bear rule, the people mourn. Proverbs 29:2. I'll quote it. So that's why the people is always going to continue to mourn until Yahweh Bashim Yahushua take you out the way. But you got to fulfill prophecy.
That's what we've become. We've become a state that more or less has to be at some kind of war. We are a perpetual.
Yeah, a perpetual war state, as the man is about to say. But we just read. This is look. You was made to take peace from the earth. You was made to bring wickedness to the earth. You was made to be an example of what not to be. And the destruction that's going to come upon you, that's actually going to make people fear, to be like, oh shit, yeah, I better get in line. Because every tongue shall confess and every knee shall bow, as the scripture says. Okay? So yeah, this place is going to go out as Sodom and Gomorrah, but it's going to be even a million times greater. But this is a whole continent that the Lord is going to destroy. All right? That was a couple cities. So, yeah, you take peace from the earth. You are a perpetual war state. He can't help himself because it's prophecy. It said power was given to him to take peace from the earth and that they should kill one another. Also, it said he is as death. So it said, yeah, also because he transgressed about wine, everything that I named about 2 minutes ago, his funny money, his political, all right, and his military. So through those three things, all right, his political, his economic, and his military, all right, he's been able to conquer the world by those three things. So he's proud. I'd be proud too. And it says, he transgressed about wine. He is a proud man, neither keep him at home. He always somewhere in somebody else's country trying to occupy them. He don't keep at home. As you see, he sent billions and billions of dollars to all these other countries. He even sent billions and billions of dollars to Taliban groups. All right. All the billions of dollars that he sent over to Ukraine, and his own people is starving. So he neither keepeth at home. He enlarges his desire as hell. So that means bad times follow him, and is as death. Death follow him, and cannot be satisfied. Matter of fact, ain't that in Proverbs? I think it's 27 and 20 or 20 and 27. Let's see. Hell and destruction are never full. That's talking about the grave. So the eyes of men are never satisfied. And you want to know whose eyes are never satisfied? Esau, Edoms, the self-proclaimed white people. All right. Since 1681, the devil, the Satan, the serpent that the Bible call them. All right. Those people, but also even 2/3, because they have, as Yahushua told the leadership in his time, you are of your father the devil, and the lust of him you would do. All right. So our people got the same mindset as Esau because you indoctrinated by him. He the one that pushed the materialistic lifestyle. He the one that pushes that if you don't got money, you ain't nothing. He pushes that if you don't have things, you ain't living. So you got a lot of people who actually think that when they don't have something, they ain't nobody. They ain't nothing. They ain't living. They ain't shit. All right. So you never satisfied. The men of the Lord and the women of the Lord, you know, they are content because we understand that this world is temporary. What's the point of having everything that your heart desired just to get destroyed in the end? But let's continue.
War state. We are a perpetual war state. As usual, we're going to rain fire down on Iran. Well, I got news for you, Donald. Iran's going to rain fire down on you.
That's a fact, Jack. All right. Matter of fact, because right now they're messing with Ishmael, which is the so-called Arabs. But the scripture says that Ishmael and Iran is going to join up together. Let's read about it. It says, behold, a horrible vision, and the appearance thereof from the east, where the nations of the dragons of Arabia, Ishmael, shall come out with many chariots, and the multitude of them shall be carried as the wind upon the earth, that all they which hear them may fear and tremble. See, right now, Ishmael haven't been aroused yet. The Lord haven't, because the scripture says he'll be a wild donkey of a man. All right. He's about to go back to his old nature. All right. So I think that's in Genesis 16, if I'm not mistaken. But yeah, so right now the Lord haven't aroused him yet, but that time is coming because we're reading about it. And also the Carmanians, which is an ancient name for, Iran. But before Iran, they was called Persians. All right. Their true name is Elamites. And it says the Carmanians ranging in wrath shall go forth as the wild boars of the wood, and with great power shall they come and join battle with them, and shall waste a portion of the land of the Assyrians. So yes, y'all are going to be destroyed over there in the Middle East. Let's read about it, because this is the purpose of the Lord. Yet Yahweh of hosts have sworn, saying, surely I have thought, so it shall come to pass. As I have purpose, it shall stand. Because the Lord's word ain't going to go out void. That I will break the Assyrian. The modern day Assyrian is Esau, Edom. All right. Just like he's the modern day Babylonian, the modern day Nimrod. He using his artificial intelligence as the new Tower of Babel. All right. And first, the reason that we associate Esau, Edom with, Babylon and Assyria and Nebuchadnezzar, because they have taken all the ancient gods and brought it over here. That's why it's called Babylon the Great. All these ancient gods and practices is in rotation. Okay. So it says, my land and upon my mountains, but that's the land of Israel. Okay. Tread him underfoot, then shall his yoke depart from off them, and his burden depart from off their shoulders. Because when you get broken in our land, okay, then the yoke that you have on us is going to be broken, because that's the time of the kingdom of heaven. So you see how Esau, Edom fallen associated with our kingdom, and all you people who want to keep on trying to save this man, that's why you're going to die with him. It says, this is the purpose that is proposed upon the whole earth. See, because the Lord said he's going to have all nations fighting against each other in the land of Jehoshaphat, as we know it is Yahweh Shaphat. That's in Joel 3:1 and verse 2, the Lord's judgment. So it says, this is the purpose that is proposed upon the whole earth, and this is the hand that is stretched out upon all nations. For Yahweh of hosts have proposed, and who shall disannul? Can't stop this. And his hand is stretched out. Who shall turn it back? So if the Lord said it's gonna happen, we seen it playing out. Okay, this how you know that the Lord always say this. Like when me and the elders and the brothers out here in Boston, when we have our little Zoom, in the middle of the week, we get into deep conversations, and I always say this, like, this is how you know that it's a higher power involved in all of this, because you cannot be that dumb and you cannot be that blind. Only reason that you that blind and that dumb because the Lord made you that way. Because all this stuff is happening, and we can go to the scriptures and prove it, and it's plain, and you still got scoffers and unbelievers. So yeah. But you are without excuse. You see it. You see it.
If you go to war with them. Now, you can bomb them. And this is what Donald Trump likes to do. Look at the first administration in 2016. He likes to bomb people. He likes to drop bombs on people. He doesn't like to put troops on the ground.
Yeah, see, the big bad bully, Now the nations, they ain't weak no more. They got bombs too. Let's read about it. I think it's Joel 3:10. Yep, so beat your plowshares into swords and your pruning hooks into spears. Let the weak say I'm strong. So you're going to turn your agriculture tools into weapons. Assemble yourself and call and come all you heathen, and gather yourself together round about thither, cause your mighty ones to come down. So, yeah, the weak at one point in time was the heathen nations. All right. Not saying that Esau, Edom ain't a heathen, but I'm just reading the context of the scriptures. So, yeah. So like Ishmael and Elam and all of them, Ham, all of them, they was weak. They was very, very weak at one point in time. The big bad wolf, the big bully America, they was just running over them. Not no more. Your kingdom is at an end.
He doesn't want to go to war with them in that sense, but he does bomb them. If he tries that with Iran, he's going to find out how ineffective it is. He's going to find out ultimately how ineffective it is. And they're going to...
Now, this video is going to be posted after the other video that I just done. So I went in a little bit into Ezekiel 38, how, Iran got Russia as the big brother, as the guard unto them. That's one of the reasons why, they're going to lose. But also, Iran have a very, very big army. America is not what it used to be. People is not signing to go into the army anymore. America is weak. They don't want no ground action. We just got done reading in Isaiah 14 how they're going to get destroyed in the land. So when the small hats, as the scripture says in Jeremiah 49:21, the least of the flock should draw them out. So when the Israelis, all right, small hats, bring them into the land, they're going to get destroyed there.
Make a decision, which they're only maybe a week or two away from making a bomb, to make a bomb. And then we're going to have a real kettle of fish to fry. And if we put troops on the ground in Iran, Nima, count the empire gone. We will dissipate our power. We will absolutely ruin ourselves in Southwest Asia if we go aground to fight the Persians.
So overall, basically what this man is saying, you don't want to smoke. Okay. You're not as strong as you used to be. This is not 1991. All right. When the Soviet Union disassembled. We in the time that the bear is being pulled by the hooks. The hooks is pulling the bear back into action. Iran got missiles. They got Russia. And hey, all through the scriptures, it said, let's get a quick one. For lo, I will raise up and cause to come up against Babylon an assembly of great nations from the north country. Let's talk about Russia. They shall set themselves in array against her. From thence she shall be taken. Their arrows shall be as a mighty expert man. None shall return in vain. So I'm going to end it on this. Just to let you know that, remember, we just got done reading in Habakkuk, right? That he is as death and hell follow him, right? This is what the Lord said that's about to happen to hell and death, which proves that it's a condition, not a place underground. And death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. Now, we just got done reading in Jeremiah 50:9 how the expert man that's going to shoot against Babylon, right? That's going to cause fire. 2 Peter 3:10 said that the earth and the elements shall melt with fervent heat. What you think that's going to cause that? That's 2 Ezra 16:12. The arrows being shot to the other side of the world. Okay? So death and hell were cast into the lake of fire. This is the second death, which is associated with the mark of the beast. To let you know that the mark of the beast is going to come first before World War III be at its full height. And whosoever was not found written in the book of life was cast into the lake of fire. All right. That is figuratively. OK. Ain't no angels grabbing people and throwing them into the fire. You already going to be here when the missiles is about to drop. OK. So all praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. America is losing its grips on the world. And you're just sealing your fate. All this war, you're just fulfilling prophecy. All praises to Yahweh Bashim Yahushai. Seek ye out the Lord while he may be found. And Shalom.